Hello, glad to see you back at Silverclaw Stables. Today's vlog is a little overdue. These shots were taken in September of last year, but I just didn't have time to edit everything until now. Anyway, I still wanted to show you this video because it's always interesting to see our babies being started under saddle and to observe their progress. So let's go back a few months to when the autumn leaves laid the ground. Back to the day we started Aztec in Arken under saddle. Aztec comes from the Domaine des Lys, and Arken was born out of SS and Oberyn at home. Both have already undergone quite a bit of pre-starting work at the age of 3 before being turned out for a year to grow. They are great on foot, know the equipment and the weight of the rider on their back, and are generally very comfortable with humans. Although Aztec is a little too comfortable with us, and is a bit of a troublemaker. Before we started, we filmed the girls fetching the horses from the paddocks. Arken is always a bit wary of the halter, and the girls must remain very gentle and open in their body language. Aztec, on the other hand, is a little rascal, so it's best to ignore him when he's seeking attention. He quickly gets bored, allowing us to halter him. The girls also need to stay vigilant in the pasture with him, as he can turn and kick before galloping off. He doesn't do it to harm, he just loves letting off steam regardless of the context. Once everyone is back at the stables, it's grooming time before heading into the small arena. Our little workspace is super useful for lunging, groundwork and backing sessions without having to trek to the large arena. Plus, the smaller enclosed space helps reduce the risk of trouble from the younger ones. I was going to start filming Aztec, but Hayley couldn't hold him back before he blocked Aitana in the hay. So I discreetly turned the camera to film Arken, who was much more well behaved under Laetitia's guidance. Here, she's testing that all the ground cues are required, such as stopping on the circle, changing directions and sending back on the circle again. Hayley handles Aztec really well, they get along great, but since Aitana's the one who will be riding him, it's crucial that she establishes a connection with him on foot first. So Hayley is handing the lunge to Aitana so that they can try to understand each other. Once the warm-up is done, it's time to saddle up. But first, we don't forget the helmet. It's even recommended to wear a helmet on foot when working with young horses. Az is familiar with the saddle, and he had never had a big reaction before, so I'm pretty sure that this was mostly impatience about having to stand still. One of the things we worked on after this session was precisely everything related to stopping and self-managing frustration. I'll leave you with a short compilation of Az's silliness before he got to work. Once everybody was ready, it was time to hop on. Laetitia and Aitana mounted and dismounted several times to check that the horses were comfortable before continuing. Arkan was extremely well behaved despite being a bit wary. She kept looking behind her to understand what exactly we were doing. Once they were settled, the girls took a few steps in hand to get her used to the sensation of the ride on her back. Aztec just wanted to go forward, which we expected, so we attached a stirrup leather around his neck for Aitana to hold on to, preventing her from pulling on the reins. That didn't stop Az from getting upset though, when we didn't let him trot. Arkan had no problem with the walk, so we asked for a trot. Here we encountered a little issue. Arkan just couldn't trot. She more easily fell into a small canter, so the girls had to help her find the right gait. Aztec had a few outbursts, but nothing too serious. Honestly, for a first session, I was impressed not only with the horses, but also with my team. Which is great to see, and something we enforce here above all else. Feeling confident enough, the girls took a walk around the arena without the lunge line, with Arkan leading and Az following. It was a superb starting session, neither of the horses broke a sweat and no one was stressed. I think everyone had a pretty pleasant time. The horses of course received lots of pets and rewards. I've condensed the footage here, but the horses did have long breaks between exercises to catch their breath and assimilate what they'd learned.
C'est de ma faute si je pense sécurité avant. Moi aussi je suis riche.
Mais au vu de la gueule des pyjamas d'Aitana, je peux dire que c'est
Waouh, mais c'est quoi ces balles perdues là?
Today the two are no longer babies and are out competing and gaining experience little by little. If you want to follow their progress in real time, you can follow us on Instagram. All of the links are in the description. This is where we leave you for today. Thanks again for visiting us. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you want to support us, you can subscribe or become a member. It allows us to produce even more videos. But as always, see you soon at Silverclaw Stables.